Well, last night was supposed to be about the matchup between the Lakers and Celtics, the one time a year the Lakers come to town and bring that old school rivalry between them, both men being top 3 seeds, and maybe even anticipating an NBA Finals matchup if everything goes right and everyone stays healthy. But that unfortunately became the story from last night: health. Even prior to the game, the Lakers were playing without a number of their key rotation guys, people like Rui Hachimura, Jaxson, and then during the game, definitely the biggest story from last night, LeBron got hurt. During the mid-fourth quarter, he came up a bit lame and had to leave the game due to a groin injury. And well, when you hear LeBron and groin injury in the same sentence, you probably immediately think back to 2018, him having to miss a large portion of that season, probably one of the worst injuries of his entire career, and again, you kind of think back to that, but is it that bad this time? Well, we do have an update on that, and thankfully it's not leaning that direction, but he is likely to miss some time here. And then in addition to that, we have an update on Rui Hachimura and Jaxson as well. So we're going to talk about that and try to break it all down here. And well, to begin, I think we gotta start with LeBron. Obviously the headline from last night, and again, when you hear LeBron and groin injury, that's not a happy thought. But according to a new report, not the report from last night from Dave McMenamin, which kind of spelled fear in Laker fans' hearts and saying that he might be out for multiple weeks, maybe even up to a month, and kind of hinting at that, more speculation. A more firm report came out today from Shams Charania, saying that he is likely to be out for 1 to 2 weeks, but maybe not as long as Dave McMenamin hinted at, and I'll let you hear what he had to say about it.
Malika, sources tell ESPN LeBron James is expected to miss at least 1 to 2 weeks with this strained groin, and typically with these soft tissue injuries, it leads to weeks long of absences, and it could be a potentially extended period of time here for LeBron James when he has evaluation here over the next 24 hours. But unlike in 2018, when LeBron James had that groin tear, I'm told he did not hear a pop last night in Boston. And unlike the last 2 years when the Lakers were competing for a play-in tournament slot, this time around, they are in the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. They do have a level of cushion, an ability here to have caution with LeBron James to be right for the stretch run and the playoffs. And as of right now, we do have to keep in mind, he needs to play 7 more games as well to be eligible for an All-NBA team.
Now, that may or may not sound optimistic to you, but when you pair it with what LeBron had to say following their game last night, saying that he wasn't overly concerned with it, and that doesn't seem to be a long-term injury for him, I'm more optimistic and leaning toward more the 1 week to 2 week at most, rather than 2 to 3 weeks or up to a month kind of injury for him. And here's quickly what LeBron had to say about it as well.
LeBron, just what's your level of concern right now with the groin? Not much concern. Obviously, we're going day to day, look at it each day, see if it gets better, and then take the proper measurements and see what we need to do going forward.
Again, when you pair the two together, it does sound a bit more optimistic, and especially hearing it from LeBron directly. Now, obviously, LeBron being out for even a week, up to 2 weeks at the most, is not a good thing for their team. But like Shams referred to here, at least they do have a little bit of a cushion. Compared to last season or even the one before that one, they're in a much better spot right now. Currently in the 3rd seed and at a record of 40-22. Even if they would fall to the 4 or 5 spot, maybe not ideal for them, but at that point they're still in the playoffs, not in the play-in tournament. They do have a cushion here. Obviously they have Luka Doncic now, who can and will carry a team. Not like their team needs to be carried per se, but he definitely has the ability to do it, which likely makes the Lakers feel confident about holding LeBron out. Not holding him out longer than he needs to be, but until he's fully healthy, not to rush him back. Again, they don't need that for playoff seeding. Maybe at the absolute worst they fall to about the 5-6 seed, but I really doubt they fall further than that. Even with LeBron out, again they have Luka Doncic, still a good amount of depth even while dealing with a few injuries. Likely will get Rui Hachimura back in that time frame, probably Jaxson, and both which we'll touch on in a bit here. But again, I doubt they feel the need to rush LeBron back. If he would be out for that 1 to 2 week time frame, that would be about 5 games to them, meaning that he'd likely be out until about either March 17th against San Antonio or March 19th against Denver, probably looking at that game back in LA. Or then another thing to factor in here does happen to be the 65 game limit to qualify for NBA awards, meaning that LeBron does need to play in 7 more to qualify. So if they really want to be cautious and hold him out and give him extended rest, they could wait all the way up until late March to bring him back. I mean, obviously don't want to wait and only give him 7 games to play all in a row and not have any rest between them, But if they wanted to do that, they could hold him out all the way up until April 3rd, let him play up until that Golden State game, all the way until their final game against Portland. That would be their 7 games left, and again, probably don't go that route, but between the NBA qualification for awards and holding him out, they could choose to go that route, or bring him back again around that March 19th date. I think that would probably be the more realistic date. You know, LeBron definitely doesn't like to be held out, especially longer than he needs to be, so probably the better and more realistic return date for him. Now again, that could change over time, and they definitely will take a wait-and-see approach with him. Obviously don't want to rush him back, and they don't really need to again. With them being in a pretty good spot in regard to standings and overall playoff picture, they'll take a wait-and-see approach with him, so we will have to play it by ear. After LeBron though, we do have an update on Rui Hachimura and Jaxson Hayes, and quickly for Hayes here, JJ Redick did confirm prior to their game last night that he quote-unquote does not think it's anything serious with him, saying that the Lakers have been monitoring swelling in Hayes' knee, but hopes that he will be back for their team soon, likely hinting at it being a 1-game absence, maybe 2 at the absolute most, but doubtful anything beyond that. And well, they definitely do need that and need him back on the court for their team. You saw last night how badly they missed him at times. You know, without Rui Hachimura, they can't go to their small ball lineup, and then double that with Hayes being out, and that really hurt their front court, being very limited in their center options, starting out Jared Vanderbilt, but actually LeBron playing more at the 5 defensively, him kind of taking on that matchup and playing in the middle for them, Vanderbilt kind of being in there but not really playing the 5 for them, and then shuffling back and forth between them throughout the entire game. That didn't give them much versatility and obviously not much height. Jemison being a bit limited in their game last night, you know, unlike Hayes, not really switchable or can guard the 3-point line that well, which led to him only playing about 5 real minutes on the court, and then offensively, being nowhere near as good of a lob threat compared to Hayes. And put all that together, and it really tells you about and shows you how badly they need Hayes out there, both defensively and offensively as well. So hopefully he will be back sooner rather than later. But then finally for Rui Hachimura, we do have an update on him as well. According to JJ Redick, talking to reporters last night prior to their game, he did confirm that Hachimura is in their return to play protocol, and that they will have a further update on him later this week. And here's what he had to say about it.
He's doing well. He's ramping up some on-court stuff, and he's in the return to play protocol. We'll have an update probably in a week for you.
Okay.
Now unfortunately, he won't be back for their game tomorrow night, or likely for their game on Thursday night in Milwaukee, but an optimistic outlook, and the most optimistic outlook, would maybe be for their game on Friday night in Denver. You know, they definitely could use him for that matchup. He's the one who matched up with Nikola Jokic in their last time. Obviously not one-on-one defending him, but did directly take on that matchup and was a big part of them kind of containing him. So maybe an optimistic outlook might be that, but more likely than not, probably the soonest that Hachimura will be back will be next Sunday against Phoenix, back in LA. I mean, they did bring him on their road trip, likely hinting at they're hoping for him to come back sometime, but probably trying to be a bit more cautious with him. And then with Redick saying that an update will come later this week, probably not playing him immediately after that update. Who knows, maybe they will, and I'd be open to it if he's 100% healthy, but again, obviously don't want to rush him back. With all of that being said though, to wrap everything up and to briefly go through the injuries one more time with them, LeBron will likely be out for 1 to 2 weeks, aka about 5 games, Hachimura being out another week, likely another 3 games, but maybe back for that Denver game, being optimistic, and then finally for Hayes, maybe at the absolute most being out 1 more game, but not a lengthy absence for him at all, maybe back in their game tomorrow night. And with that in mind here, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the injury updates and with the Lakers' health going forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.